Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at how to visualize your data in SQL, and a lot of things we can as well do with SQL that most people doesn't understand or know. So, and according to the request I've been getting from LinkedIn, so today I want to take my time to teach us on how to use SQL to visualize your data. So, but before we go there, we are going to learn how to load our data sets from CSV file, that's from a CSV file, into SQL. So, and we are going to be creating tables. So now we will learn how to create your tables, how to create a database, then load it from loading your data set from your from your Excel into Power BI, into SQL. So today let's go there and dive into the tutorial. So what you need to do is to come into this default workspace. So let's click on the Postgres. So I want to be creating all my table into this database called Progress. So you can create a new database. If you don't mind, you can create a new database. Just write create a database, put the table name, then you are done. So but here I already have a database called Progress, so I'm going to build all my tables into this. So what I'm going to do first is to create a categories table. So I have all the data set that I'm going to be loading, so I will be creating their tables here one by one in SQL before I started loading it. So if I have this one, I can drop table. So just drop the table first before. So if you have a table before, so this will drop it because I've created many tables in my SQL. I don't know, maybe I have that type of table. So you can drop if exists. Just write drop table if exists. So if exists, let's call this, the table should be like categories because that's what I'm going to be using. So write cascade. So after you're done with this, just run this one first to drop the table if exists in your SQL. So say that the table category does not exist on script. So let's go and create our table. Now what you need to do is to create table. So and you title the table categories. So mind you, if you are creating a table in SQL, you have to put the name of the table in plural. So don't use singular, so it's not going to work. So because all the columns and R's also like they are under this thing, so it's not one, so it's plural. So categories, let me see the columns I'm going to be having under my table. So you can open your this data set as well. You can open your data set you want to load. Let me search for the data set I'm going to load. So these categories, let me open it first so that you get the concept behind of creating a table and loading it. So you have to understand what your data structure look like in Excel. So this is the data structure. I have category. So I have a 2 column. So these are the 2 column. Copy the head of the column, copy it, go back to SQL, then you can paste it here. So the column 1 is category ID. So and if you look at it, it's integer. If you look at the data structure here, you see that it's integer 101, 102. So the data type is integer, so you write integer there. So after you done, write integer. So then primary key, because it's like a serial thing. So primary key, comma. So then come here into the category names. So category name is Facha because it's the name of the people. Category name is Facha. So 100, not known. So what did I use this one? See, it's called constraint in SQL. We used to like restrict any errors in our SQL queries that we write. So that's why we put that not known. So this will help us to treat any kind of form of error that we may have. So now let's create this table. So the table has created successfully. in our Postgres database. So you can come here and see the table. So let's refresh this to see our table. So this is the table called categories, so that we just created now. So we have created the table. So now let's continue with the table creation. So because it's not ordinary one table we are going to be creating, so we are going to build all the tables, then we started loading it one by one. So the next table, this is number 1. So let me put this dot here. The name of this table is called category. So the name of the table is called category. Yeah. So now let's move on to the next table. So we call this one product. Let me write product table. So now after we're done, let's create the table. So write create. You can use small letter, you can use capital letter, depending on you. We write create tables. So let me look for it if it exists before I continue. So let's copy this one, paste it here. So just change it to products. So that's all. This one will change it to products. So because that's the table we are going to be creating if we have it before, so that you can drop it for us. So let's run this. So it does not exist, so it does not exist in our table. So now what you need to do is now create it. Create table products. So now for the table, let me check what we have inside products table. So let's open it in Excel. So after opening it, then we copy the column as usual. So copy the column headings, come here into your SQL, then paste it here. So for the column 1, we have a product ID. So what data type is that? What data type is that? For the product ID is integer, and also is primary key. Don't forget, because it's the beginning, it's the serious. So primary key. So now after you're done with this, now let's come here into the next column, which is product name. So our product name is going to be varchar, variable characteristic varchar. So then put the length of it, not null. So not null. So now after you're done with this, let's go to the next one, which is the category ID. So our category ID also is going to be what? It's integer. So let's check it first. Okay, so it's integer. So it's serial number 101, 102, 102 is integer. So we write integer. So after you're done with this, now let's reference this table, because we are going to be building, we are going to be like creating a joint with the table. So references categories, so that I can connect to the table that we created called categories. So we want to reference this, so we connect them together, all together. So now let me join this with the categories ID here. So integer, they are the same thing. This category ID here under the categories tables, and then category ID integers, this one here is also the same thing with, so they are the same thing. So let's reference that tables and the column called category IDs together. So now we write category underscore ID. So now after you're done with this, I'll put the comma here. So for the price, what data type is that? So is numeric. So then you put the kind of numeric it is. So now put the numeric, then put the name of the strength of each every one of them. So which is going to be like, the length should be like 12 to 2 or anything. So just put that. This will constrain the data structure. If you are listing more than 2, more than 3 numeric, so it's going to help you to increase this based on the data structure. So now let's have the other one, which is going to be fetcher, which is status. Fetcher, then let's restrict it to 50 of length. So now after you're done with this, so come here, put this semicolon. So now let's create this table. Let's create this table. So the table has successfully created. So now you can as well look for it here under the Postgres. Refresh it to see the table. So the table is this product. So you can see the table is there now, called product. So now after you're done with this, now let's go back to our Postgres once more to create a new table. So now let's create a table called customers. So if you want to build more tables, so this is how to go about it. So let me create one more. So let's create this called customers. So after you're done, let's as well drop if exist. Let's drop it if exist. We have a table like that before. Let's drop it. So then we remove this one and put customers. So if it exists before, so it's going to drop it so that we can create a new one. So it's not exist. So now let's create, we want to create table called customers. So now in our table customers, you can open it and see customers. What are the metrics? What are the columns do you have there? So we have a column like this inside. So we copy it, come here again, come and paste it here. So for the column first one, which is what customer this thing, you can write integers for the primary key. So now for the next one, which is what first name, the first name is going to be variable character varchar. So let's put 100 for the limiter name. So now for this one, we have a last name, varchar. So let's also go to the email. The email can be more increaser than what you think. Let's have it to be variable characteristics as well. Varchar and 200. So varchar 200. So now let's put this comma here. So now for this one, which is city, so it's also variable characteristic varchar. So now after you're done creating all the column we have in that table, so you come here, put the semicolon. So now let's create the table. Let's create the table called customers. So we have varchar last name, this is first name, voucher 100. Okay, the city, variable characteristic. So you see that errors near this one, so that means here in our table we have an integer which is correct. We also have what again, the first name, which is also correct. So now I think the part, this is the customer's, this is the customer ID, primary key. Okay, so we didn't have this semicolon here. So now let's run this. So still bringing same thing, primary key, the first name, voucher. This one says voucher, city, voucher. So alright, okay, so I think I've seen where the error is. So let's run this now. So we have this. So now let's come here into this part to see our table 2 as well. Let's refresh, then we see the table called customers. So the table is here too as well. So now let's load the data set. If you want to load data set now for the category, so you can see this is the category. So now just right click on it, click on import. So come here into your file, then you click on categories. So after you click on it, make sure you check the head columns. So this is the columns that we have. This option. So do you want it to load with the headers? So if you want to load it with headers, click on headers. So but if you don't want to load it with header, that means you are going to delete the head of the column here so that it will work. So after you've done this, now come back to general, check this, the format is this CSV. So if it's CSV, then leave it. So this one, to make sure it is UTF-8. So when all those one have been set, then you can now click OK. So it's going to load perfectly without error for you. So now the data set has loaded. So now let's go to the next one again to load for the product. So click on product, then click on import. So then right click on this one, click on product data column, the product. We have categories, we have employees, we have others, we also have okay. So let's save this column here. So we have the data set here. So let's save it to download. So that we can load it straight up from there. So CSV, so yes, there. So let's change it to CSV delimiter. That's why we could not see it there. So yeah. So now let's go and load it now. Alright, so we have it now. So let's click on open, then load straight up. So this one too has loaded successfully. So and what again, which file again? Okay, customers. So let's import the customers data set into Excel. So click on the customers and click OK. So all is loaded successfully into SQL. So after we load all this one finish, now let's go to the our query to check all of them. So let's select X from the first one is categories. select from category. So this is the tables we are going to look for. So let's see the table. So this is the table. So our categories. So now after you see these tables, now let's say you want to visualize using any chart here. So you can come here to graphics. So and then pick the chart you want to use. You want to use this bar chart. So you can pick this thing. So you generate it. It's going to show you this chart like this. You can see this is how to generate your chart. So if you want to use another table too as well. So let's say you want to use pie chart for instance. So after you select the items, you select those ones. So let me select this category name and the ID. So you click on generate. So you can see this is the chart. So visualize is the categories. So it displays the categories. So how many categories you have here? You have computer, you have accessories, you have this thing. So and they are this thing. If you are putting this cursor on it like this, you are going to be seeing all their total. So as you can see. So now if you want to come here again to generate, let's say star bar chart for instance. So you can generate it from here. So and also if you want to download that chart, you can download and put your project for maybe for the analysis purpose or anything you want to do. So likewise, after you're done with this, now let's come here. Let me minimize this one so that we can have another chart. So now let's come here into this part to see our query. So now then we have this one now. It's generated. So the next thing we are going to do is to go back to our our query to see how it looks like. So this one now, let's come here to our table, our query. So we want to see another table. So select after from products. Let's see product table. So we want to see product table for instance now. So now let's generate and see the product table. So this is the product table. So as you can see, so this is the product table. So now after you got this, now let's say we want to generate a visualization with the product table. So let's use a line chart or any chart we want to use at all. So after you click on it, I think that cannot be using. So you come here, you drop this one down. You see, you drop this one down. So after you drop this one down, you choose the different charts you want to use. So you pick the items you can use for that. So after you're done, you click on generate. So this is going to show you the chart. So this is visualization. So let's come here into the bar chart for instance. So we want to use bar chart. Let's look for the product name and then and price. And the price. So let's select price. So now let's generate this. So you can see. So if you want to use pie chart so as well, so you can as well use pie chart. So with the price. So let's generate. So this is the product and their prices. So product name and the prices. So laptop, mouse and all. So you can see this visualize the trends of your data set with easy without stressing yourself. So now if you want to also look for the bar chart for instance, so you can as well generate it to see that. So now let's come here and check another table, which is going to be select with the asterisk from what's the name of the last table? Customers. So in our next class we are going to be, please like and subscribe to this channel so that you can see of benefit of many videos. So our SQL is the king of data analysis. We are going to be doing tutorials on joining and many more SQL class. So we just do this one like a visual data visualization as people are requesting for it. So we are still going to have more class. So now let's see, I want to generate this one too as well. So please like and subscribe for more video. You can like now, subscribe. So now we have first name. So let's have the customer ID for instance. So we want to generate this too as well. This is for the line chart. So let's say I want to use bar chart. So you can make use of any of these charts. You can see this is trends. You see the name of all the people. So and also if you want to see their ID, so customer ID 2, customer ID 3, customer ID 4, customer 6. So as you are putting all the customers on it, it's going to be showing you their trends. So let's say I want to use pie charts for instance. Now let's say I come here, want to see the customer trends. So you can see these are the visualization that this one derived for us. Please, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for as well subscribing to YouTube channel. God bless you as you do so. Thank you. Bye for now. So we are going to continue on SQL tutorial. For more tutorial and for questions, maybe you have any questions, you can ask me. So I'm going to drop this data set into video description so I can download it and walk through it yourself too as well. Thank you. Bye.